Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode. I almost said video. I filmed a video yesterday and my brain was stuck in YouTube mode. Welcome back to a new episode. Today I am going to be making my predictions for the Rolex. Emu already made hers since she couldn't be here. Um, I have them on the bigger sticky note, and then the OG, the red sticky note of predictions, is here to keep track of everything as we go throughout the season. So, um, I thought it would be fun. I say this every time, but I want to open it up for you guys as well to be able to make yours, and I'll like keep track of them, and it'll be a whole thing. So, tell me what you're thinking at any point. Um, Let me see. What am I trying to do here? Not whatever that is. Okay. So, it should be big enough for you guys to read. Um, but let's start over here with GTP. Um, so as always, I'm gonna read through them and then I'll tell you guys what Emu picked and then I will make mine. So we have the '01, the Chip Ganassi Racing with Renger van de Zand, Sebastian Bourdais, Scott Dixon, and Alex Palou. Oh, okay. So speaking of, yesterday, if you haven't seen it on our YouTube channel, I filmed a whole video about all of the IndyCar drivers that are in the Rolex field. So I'm not gonna like really super comment on them today. I'm just gonna read on through. Um, just kidding. I want chat over here. There we go. Then we have the 5 Proton competition. This is the Mustang sampling car that everyone's been so crazy about. It looks so cool. So I understand. I think this car is only um, for the endurance races, but at least we'll get to see it multiple times this year. Um, so for the 5, we have Jean-Maria Brunei, Neil Janney, Alessio Piccarello, and Romain Dumas. And then we have the 6, the first of the Porsche Penske cars with Nick Tandy, Matthew Jaminet, Kevin Estre, and Lawrence Vanthoor. Then we have the 7 Porsche Penske with Dane Cameron, Felipe Nasr, Matt Campbell, and Joseph Newgarden. Then we have the first, very exciting to say this, the first of the Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti Acuras with so the 10 with Ricky Taylor, Philippe Albuquerque, Brendan Hartley, and Marcus Ericsson. Then we have the first BMW M Team RLL car, the 24, with Jesse Krohn, uh, Philippe Eng, Augusto Farfus, and Dries Vanthoor. Then we have the 25, the second BMW M Team RLL car with Connor De Felipe, Nick Yellowly, Maxime Martin, and Rene Rast. Then we have the 31, the Whelen Engineering car with Pippo Durrani, Jack Aitken, and Tom Blomqvist. The second of the Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti cars, the new one, the 40 with Jordan Taylor, Louis Delatraz, Colton Herta, and Jenson Button. And then we have the 85, the JDC Miller Motorsports car with Timon Vanderhelm, Richard Westbrook, Phil Hansen, and Ben Keating. So Emu picked the 24. So the first of the BMW cars. It's always tempting to pick the 1, the 01. The 10 is always a good choice. Although the 31, that's a really, really strong trio. But, oh God. See, this is my problem. I want to pick them all. Like, I also want to pick the 40. Yeah, the driver lineup on the 40 is insane. And I kind of just, I want to pick it just for that. Like, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick the 40. And we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fine. But it's also endurance racing, so you don't know what the hell's going to happen. Okay, then moving on to LMP2. Malta Jacobson? Guys, I say names wrong. It's not on purpose what happens. Then we have the 8, the Tower Motorsport entry with John Ferrano, Michael Dinnan, Ferdinand Habsburg, and Scott McLaughlin. We'll see, I'm already in my brain running into a bit of an issue. And we're already 3 cars in. Only 3 cars in, I guess. Then we have the 11, the TDS Racing entry with Stephen Thomas, Mikkel Jensen, Hunter McElroy, and Charles Malesi. Then we have the 18 for Aero Motorsport with Dwight Merriman, Ryan Dalziel, Connor Zolch, and Christian Rasmussen. If you haven't seen the new livery for Aero Motorsports this year, I actually really, really like it. I made, when I was putting together the list for Emu, I always make her a picture list, and that's how she picks. But so I kind of got to already like preview everything and see them all the cars together, and there's some really good liveries this year. Then we have the 20, the MDK by High Class Racing entry with Dennis Anderson, Seth Lucas, Lawrence Hoare, and Scott Huffaker. Then we have the 22, the second United Autosport USA entry with Daniel Goldberg, Paul DeResta, Bijou Garg, and Felix Rosenquist. Ooh. Then we have the 33, the Sean Creech Motorsport entry with Lance Wilsey, Joao Barbosa, Nolan Siegel, and Johnny Edgar. Then we have the 52, the Inter-Europol by PR1 with Dyson Motorsports entry. That is a handful. With Jacob Schmakowski, Nick Bull, Tom, what does it say? Tom Dillman, and Clement Novalak? I'm going to say Novalak. Then we have the 74, the Riley entry, with Gar Robinson, Felipe Fraga, Josh Burton, and Felipe Massa. Then we have the 81, the Dragon Speed entry, with Eric Lux, Kiffin Simpson, James Allen, and Sebastian Alvarez. The 88, the oh no, my voice is giving up on me already. Probably shouldn't have filmed a video yesterday, right before I knew I had like a whole bunch of talking to do. The Richard Mille AF Course team with Louis Perez Campanc, Nicholas Nielsen, Wilou Wadeau Dulcier, and Matthew. Ooh, the French names are hard. Vavier? Maybe. And then we have the 99, the new AO Racing entry. If you guys have not seen Spike, that's his name. It is so cute. I love that livery. I think sticking with like the whole dragon dinosaur theme, 10 out of 10. Um, but they have PJ Hyatt, Paulo Shatan, Matt Brabham, and Alex Quinn. Oh, um, yeah, I guess so. I guess he is. Um, so what did Emu pick? Emu picked the 52, the Inter Europole by PR1 with Dyson Motorsports, and I kind of knew she would. I thought she was going to pick the 99, and she did tell me she really liked it. But I figured she would because the 52 has that I've been calling it like the Sprite livery because it's split in half. It's like green and yellow. Um, oh gosh, who am I gonna pick? Okay. Okay, I think because it's just so hard for me and goes against like every fiber of my being to root against, or not even like root against, but just like pick anyone that's not Ben Keating. I'm gonna pick the two. I mean, he put the car on pole. Like, hello? Okay. So let's move down. Oh, oh God. There we go. To GTD Pro. Does he have dual citizenship? Is that maybe why that's possible? I don't know how it works in other countries. I know kind of how it works here with dual citizenship and all that stuff, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe if he has a driver's license that is for Monaco. Oh, well, I don't know then. Um, okay, so I gotta see. I gotta scroll for a second. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I was just confirming to myself who Emu picked. Um, okay, so GTD Pro, we have the one, the Paul Miller Racing entry, and they switched over this year, um, which I think is an interesting choice, but I think it was the right choice. It'll be really interesting to see how they fare up here because they were just, you know, dominating in GTD. So I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Um, so Paul Miller Racing, Brian Sellers, Madison Snow, Neil Varhagen, and Sheldon Vanderlyn. Then we have the three, the Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports. Um, Obviously, the factory Corvette racing team went away and now they're into customer racing. So you will see a total of four Corvettes on this entry list, um, which also I think is very, very interesting. Um, then let's, oh yeah, I, I was just ready to move on without saying who it was. Um, so for the three, they have Antonio Garcia, Alexander Sims, and Daniel Giancadella. And then in the sister car, which I'm super happy to see the three and four running together again. Um, the Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports second entry. Um, we have Tommy Milner, Nikki Katzberg, and Earl Bamber. Um, then we have the nine, the FAF Motorsports team, and they remember have switched manufacturers this year. They switched to McLaren. Um, and they have Marvin Kirschhofer, Ollie Jarvis, James Hinchcliffe, and Alexander Rossi. Um, I mentioned yesterday in my video that I think it's super cool to see Hinch and Rossi doing race car things together. I mean, they have their podcast. It's called Off Track if you haven't watched it. Um, but since Hinch has moved into broadcasting, I think it's cool that they get to do on-track race car friend things together. Um, then we have the 14, the Vassar Sullivan entry with Jack Hawksworth, Ben Barnicoat, Kyle Kirkwood, and Mike Conway. Then we have the 19, the Iron Lynx entry, at least one of them, with Frank Pereira, Jordan Pepper, Andrea Caldarelli, and Marco Bortolotti. Then we have the 23 Heart of Racing team with Ross Gunn, Alex Ramirez, and Mario Farnbacher. I love that Mario is back with the Heart of Racing because he was there forever ago when they were Team Seattle and they were racing Porsche, and it's really cool to see him back. Then we have another Iron Lynx entry, the 60, with Claudio Schiavone, Matteo Cressoni, Romain Grosjean, and Matteo Caroli. Then we have the 62, the Risi Competizione entry, with Daniel Serra, David Rajon, Alessandro Pierguidi, and James Collado. And then we have two new entries. We have the Ford Multimatic Motorsport cars, the 64 and the 65. I'm not going to say there's been, throughout the roar, there was talk of sandbagging and all this stuff, but that didn't not happen. So in the 64, we have Harry Tinknell, Mike Rockenfeller, and Christopher Mize. There's a computer screen's dirty, so I couldn't see what it said. And then in the 65, we have Joey Hand, Dirk Mueller, and Frederick Furvish. And then we have the 75, the Sun Energy 1 entry with Kenny Habel, Jules Gounon, Luca Stoltz, and Mauro Engel. And then the 77 AO Racing entry, aka Rexy, with Lauren Henrik, Seb Prelu, and Michael Christensen, who are on the pole. Oh, I hadn't looked at chat for a hot minute. Okay, well, I don't know country codes very well. So there we go. We love educational streams. So Emu picked the 19, the first of the Iron Lynx entries. Who do I want to pick? The 3 or the 4 look interesting. 14 is always a good choice. The 23. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, potentially. That would make sense. Oh my gosh. See, this is, I just always want to pick everyone. Hmm. I'm mostly between the 14 and the 23. I'm gonna pick the 23. Just, yes, I'm picking the 23. That's it. Done. End of story. Okay. Now on to GTD. Oop, there we go. Oh, I didn't say, but there's 59 entries into this race. Okay. So, the GTD entries, we have the second Vassar Sullivan car, the 12, with Frankie Moncalvo, Parker Thompson, Aaron Telitz, and Ritomo Mayata? Yeah, Tomo Mayata. You guys already know. Bad at names. Apologies. Um, okay, and then we have the AWA entries. They switched over, they were the team that switched over to Corvette this year. And it's really kind of weird, but also kind of cool to see Corvettes have different liveries because, you're used to seeing Corvette yellow. Um, but they did a really good job of keeping them different enough, but also like for AWA, kind of keeping that same identity they had when they were in LMPs. Um, so in the 13, they have Ori Fidani, Matthew Bell, Lars Kern, and Alex Lynn. And then in the 17, they have Anthony Mantella, Nico Verone, Thomas Merrill, and Charlie Eastwood. In the 21 AF course entry, we have Simon Mann, Francois Hero, Miguel Molina, and Kai Cozzolino. And then in the O23, the Triarci Competition entry, we have Onofrio Triarci, uh, Charles Scardina, Riccardo Agostini, and then Alessio Rivera. Who did Emu pick? Oh, okay. I thought Emu picked the O23, but she did not. Then we have the second Heart of Racing entry, the 27, with Roman DeAngelis, Zachary Robichon, Ian James, and Marcus Sorensen. Then we have the 32, the Cordoff Preston Motorsport entry with Mike Skeen, Michael Grenier, Kenton Cook, and Maximilian Goetz. And then, oh, there we go. We have the 34 Conquest Racing entry with Manny Franco, Albert Costa Balboa, Alessandro Balzon, and ooh, Cedric Spirzoli. Then we have the 43 Andretti Motorsports entry. They've made the switch. They tried to do its thing with Aston Martin last year. They switched manufacturers. They're running Porsche now, and that is going to be Jared Andretti, Gabby Chavez, Scott Hargrove, and Thomas Preening. And then we have the 44, the Magnus Racing entry with John Potter, Andy Lally, Spencer Pompelli, and Nikki Them. Then we have the Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti entry, the 45, with Kyle Marcelli, Danny Formal, Graham Doyle, and Ashton Harrison. Then we have the 47, Cedar Racing, with Roberto LaCourte, Giorgio Sergio. No, that was all just one big run-on sentence. Let me start over. So the 47 Cedar Racing entry with Roberto LaCourte, Giorgio Cernigiato? Let's just go with that. Antonio Fuoco, and then Eddie Cheever, which throws me off every time I see his name because I didn't realize that he was doing IMSA racing. I think I said that the last time too. Then we have the 55, the Proton competition car. This is a custom racing Mustang as well. So just like with the Corvettes, you're going to see um, a third Ford in the field. And they have Ryan Hardwick, Dennis Olsen, Gianmarco mm, Leverato, yeah, and Corey Lewis. Then we have the Windward Racing entry, the 57, um, with Russell Ward, Philip Ellis, Andy Dante, and Daniel Morad. Then we have the 66 with Gradient Racing with Shanna Monk, Catherine Legg, Tatiana Calderon, and Stephen McAleer. And then the 70 Inception Racing with Brendan Uribe, Frederick Shandorf, Ollie Milroy, and Tom Gamble. And then we have the 78, the Forte Racing entry with Misha Goikhberg, Laura Spinelli, Sandy Mitchell, and Devlin DeFrancesco. And I will forever and always say it that I think that was a big mistake. Y'all know my feelings about that, but don't. I don't agree because that's a really strong team otherwise. Ooh, I'm gonna make some tea after this. Do I have tea? Stupid question. I have tea, but do I have the tea I want? I think I do. Where do we get up to? Oh yeah. Okay, then we have the 80, the Lone Star Racing entry, with Sully Yulk, Rue Pinto de Andrade, Scott Andrews, and Adam Christodoulou, or something similar to that. Then we have the 83, the Iron Dames, with Rahel Frey, Michelle Gadding, Sarah Bovey, and Dorian Pinn. Then we have the 86, the MDK Motorsports entry, with Karen Lee, Anders Fjordbach, uh, Larry, ooh, Larry Ten Vord, Vord, and Klaus Boschler. Then we have the 92, the Kelly Moss with Riley entry, with David Brule, Alec Udell, Trent Hidman, and Julien Ondelay. And then we have the 96, the Turner Motorsport entry with Robbie Foley, Pat Gallagher, Jake Walker, and Jens Klingman. And then, okay, so I didn't think this was an actual entry. The 120, the Wright Motorsport car, they've been using it as like a movie car for that ridiculous Brad Pitt movie that they're making, the Motorsport one or something. Um, I didn't think it was an actual entry, but it's on the list, so um, they have Adam Adelson, Elliot Skier, Jan Halen, and Fred McElweckie. Exactly. My thoughts exactly on the booing. Um, okay. Who did Emu pick? Emu picked. Ooh, Emu picked the 43, the Andretti Motorsport entry. Somehow that's not who I thought she would pick. Okay. There might be too many options. And by might me, I mean there's definitely too many options. How are you gonna pick one out of 23? Mm, no. Mm, mm. maybe, also maybe, that could be an interesting choice. I feel like there's so many teams that are like so evenly stacked up that it doesn't, there's not one to me that's like, yes, like above all else. What do you guys think? Who would you guys pick? Hmm. Why do I do this to myself? I do this to myself every time. Could be the 96. If I say it out loud, it'll force me to narrow it down. Could pick the 96. Could pick the 70. No. Well, maybe. No, not the 70. Not for any particular reason, but that's just not the vibe. Maybe the 57. Maybe the 44 or the chaos pick. Although I don't really want to be chaos picking. And they're obviously a very talented group of drivers. And I have picked them before. I can't pick the 27 because I picked. Okay. Computer's making bing bong noises at me. Can't pick the 27 because I picked the 23 and I need some diversity. Too bad I don't have a coin nearby. I would literally just flip a coin. I literally don't know. Oh, Jesus. Why is this so hard? Oh, I know why. um, I don't want to like make my pick and then be like annoyed at myself about it because once I pick it, that's it for this. Like, once I write it down, once I say it out loud. It's kind of, they're all kind of chaos picks, I feel like. Why am I like this? Okay. No, I can't pick. I can't decide. Ah. Okay, you know what? I'm picking the 57. No, yeah, I said it. I'm writing it down. I'm picking the 57. I believe in the power of Dana Morad. That might have been a chaos pick. I mean, you can't ever really tell because endurance racing. Okay, so here we go. Emu and I's picks. She has the 24, the 52, the 19, and the 43. And I have the 40, the 2, the 23, and the 57. I think I definitely feel good about a couple. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. So yeah. Deep breaths. then be happy with your picks because you can't change them now. I think that that is going to wrap it up for this one. I will be live tweeting the race all weekend. So if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that, I might, depending on if anything happens, I might make maybe like an Instagram short or Instagram short, a YouTube short, maybe. I don't know. But I will definitely be tweeting and talking about it. So follow along with my chaos tweets and like I would love to know what you guys think as it's happening. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Um, I will be back next week with the results of our predictions race. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.